Hello, welcome back. I am using up paint and trying to get rid of things that have been sitting around the house. I can't even tell you how long ago I did that, and I don't like it, so I'm not going to resin it. This is just a little 7-inch hexagon tile. I'm still not going to throw it away because I can put something prettier over it, and I need to use up paint. So here's a long story short. I just mixed this up. This is Atelier Interactive Copper Cell Activator, and I do love copper Cell Activator, but I don't use copper a ton. Well, I do like it as a cell activator for blooms, but I've been trying to blow out my blooms myself. And Atelier Interactive is a wonderful cell activator, but it is hard for me personally to blow out with my mouth, not with a dryer. So I was thinking about old color combinations I've used in the past that I've really enjoyed. And this one came up in my brain. And this color combination was inspired originally by Erica Hughes, and this is from a long time ago. So I tried it and I loved it. I did a little hexagon bloom with it a while back, and then I did a little 8-inch round. So two of the colors that I need to use, one in particular that's been mixed up for a while, is Pineapple Crush. Now I just thinned these out, so unfortunately that means they're going to be riddled with bubbles, but whatever. When I first did this, I did Golden Honey, which was like a first generation Prism Pour color before Leslie really perfected the formula the way she has now. So I do still have the color. I have some of it left, but I don't have it mixed. So I'm using Indian Spice, which is a Bling It from Colourarte. I'm out of this color. They have this in a Resin Art color too, but I'm out of this one. What I have an abundance of is the Resin Art one. Anyway, so I'm going to use that instead of Golden Honey. This is Pineapple Crush, which is just a wonderful primary element. This is part of the Glitz line, which means it's semi-opaque. It does unfortunately have a lot of bubbles. I tried to pop some of them by whacking the thing on the counter. And then I'm going to use Australian Red-Violet and Turquoise Phthalo. So unless you're new here, you've seen Australian Red-Violet before. This is from Matisse, and this is a fluid acrylic. This I'm pretty sure is Turquoise Phthalo from Golden, unless it's Colourarte. I can't read the lid, but it looks like the Golden shade. The Colourarte one is a smidge more green. And I'm going to use a white cell activator, and then the copper cell activator is going to go on top. Now, I know this sounds dorky, and I'm going to start putting down my pillow paint while I talk to you guys, but this is part of the reason why some of us artists film. I mean, it's to share with you so you can learn from our successes and failures, but it's also like a video diary. So I just watched my own video so I could remember what I did so I could try to duplicate it again. I am going to use my hair dryer for this one because I do have trouble, like I said, with Atelier Cell Activator, just to get the nice juicy cells that I really want from them, from that cell activator. I'm probably going to have better success with a hair dryer. And I also revisited a different color combo. I know I used too much paint there. A different color combo that I really enjoyed, that it was inspired by Lisa Marvin, where I used a blue-black cell activator from Atelier, and I was like, why didn't I do this more? Because the hair dryer helped me get these cute little bubbly cells. And so there's a lot of times that I want to use a blue-black cell activator, but I'm like, oh, I don't blow those out very well. No problem using it in swipes. Works great in swipes. So anyway, long story short, I inspired myself. Sounds so narcissistic, but I think you understand the sentiment. But I that's not the first time I have watched my own video to try to remember what I did to see if I could do it again. So anyway, in an effort to try to use up paint, we're gonna try it. I mean, worst case scenario, there's a bug in here. Worst case scenario, it doesn't work, and some of this paint was probably gonna have to be thrown away anyway if I didn't liven it up a little bit. So what's the harm, right? So let's get started. So before I get covered in paint, the hair dryer I'm using is this cute little travel Berta hair dryer. I don't even think you can buy this anymore. I'll try to check on Amazon, and if it's available again, I'll add it back to my Amazon shop, but it has like the perfect size little thingy. I also have like the whatever version of like the Drew Barrymore. It's the same size as that one in there in the closet. And then I have my baby list, which is a little bit bigger opening, so it's good for like 10 inchers and stuff. But I haven't used it in a long time, so I'm super rusty. So hopefully it's like riding a bike. We'll see. Okay, so this is gonna be Indian Spice down first, and I need more of this. So it's like I wanna use it, but I also am like, oh, I don't have any more of it. But I do have a lot of different golds. Colourarte has some beautiful golds, and I found a globby in my paint. There's so many things I wanted to do tonight, and I was like, you know, I need to work on the cloud pour and see if I'm making any progress. And then I was like, yeah, but I need to use up paint. So I already had some bloom paint out. I have a stack of coasters over here. I went through some videos from the past, and I was like, okay, what are some color combos that have worked well that I might have some or all the colors where I could interchange them? Let's do this. You know, I'm making progress using up the paint, so I want to continue my momentum. Also, one of our overhead bulbs is out, so the lighting may be a little weird. I have a lamp on behind me to try to help with that, but bear with me. All right, so Pineapple Crush, such a beautiful little booger. What I think is really cool about using the hairdryer with a double cell activator where one of your cell activators is a metallic is it sometimes creates the perfect amount of pressure where you get these cute little bubbly cells, and those can be really fun. All right, so let me try to get the bubbles I can see. Sometimes doing like things you've done before and you kind of know what the outcome could be, it's nice for inspiration. I feel like I get like inspiration ADD. I don't ever lack inspiration, but sometimes I'm like, which thing do I do? And so, and then I get overwhelmed and like I argue with myself about what I should or should not do for like an hour, and then I waste time I could be spending painting and getting something accomplished. Does that happen to you guys? I'm curious. Okay, Australian Red Violet. You know, over this yellow, this comes across a lot more like a quinacridone violet than a red violet, and those are similar. I think Australian Red Violet is has a little bit more of a pinkish tint. You know, the turquoise phthalo, but it will definitely look a little bit more maroon in this because of the yellow, which is cool. I mean, that works. And I might be using too much of this color, but okay. Now, and this is another reason why I always like to be able to refer back to videos. And for the most part, when I list colors for you guys in the description box, I try very hard to list them in the order I put them down, because I can't tell you how many times I've searched somebody's description box to try to remember how they laid something down. And I'm like, is this the order that they did it in? You know, so, and that includes double cell activator, because I don't seem to comprehend which goes first and why, and so I always have to check, even on my own paintings. So in this case, I did the white first, so I'm using M-gram titanium white. M-gram I get at Blick. This is mixed with Australian Floetrol, which I get from Pixel Paint Designs. So I have discount codes below in the description box for Colourarte, 20% off using Mandy1120, 10% off Pixel Paint Designs for Floetrol, Boom Gels, whatever. So don't forget to check the description box. It is definitely there to save you some money. All right, let's do this. I think I'm stalling. So in the video, I did white and then copper. And I remember when I first saw this combo, I was like, isn't that a little weird? White and copper, don't they like black and copper I can see, because that's probably too much, by the way. Black and copper I can kind of see because, you know, black metallics. But I was like, white and copper seems like it would get milky and weird, but it works. Okay. I feel like I'm using way too much cell activator, so I hope it works. That's like, okay. I'm probably overthinking it. All right. Nope, not high enough. have a bad feeling that I went all the way down, but I think that's the white peeking through. So with a thicker cell activator like the Atelier, it's going to take longer for the cells to form. So sometimes before you're tempted to mess with it too much, just give it a little bit. It's almost like little pearl cells. So I'm probably gonna get my turkey baster, but oh my gosh, you guys, can you see this? Or is the light behind me causing a glare? So the center is real milky. I don't know if I messed it up. So I just blew into a couple places to try to break the surface tension. I do think those cells are gonna grow though. I'm going to put you on pause. I'm going to pop some bubbles, see what develops, and then see it's starting to, I kind of want to leave you unpaused so you can see it develop real time. So let me just talk to you about what I was going to share with you a second ago. So I'm kind of very technical sometimes, not all the time, but when I see people use their hair dryer, I'm like, okay, did you use high or low? Is high too high? Is low too low? Because like if you start off wrong, you can mess up the whole thing, you know what I mean? So this is kind of what concerns me. I blew very gently into that surface tension. We don't have a lot of color in the middle at all. It still looks cool, but it worries me that if I kind of break the surface tension in a couple of other places, that it's just gonna look like a bunch of like blah in the middle, you know? So I think what's causing this to be so just white in the middle is I think I probably actually used a little bit too much cell activator. I have amazing cell coverage over here. I have like multicolored cells. So I'm not saying that this is a fail, but I think I need to use less white cell activator. So I'm trying to decide if I want to hit this couple spots up or if it's just gonna make it worse, you know? Let me, like it seems to be growing, and the bummer is a lot of the really beautiful parts are gonna spin out. So I think I almost need a little bit of the contrast in the middle. So let me give that a second to come back up. We'll spin it out, and we may do a little 10-incher and see if we have a better surface area, how it goes. So I have a couple places where I didn't blow out the greatest, but I definitely have a lot of white, and that one cell there is weird. So let's just spin it and see what happens. It's prettier than what we poured over, but so much of the most beautiful part is gonna fly off. So that's kind of the downside of using too much paint, is you gotta get it off. You can get away with leaving a little too much on when it's on a tile, but it can still crack. So this is really pretty, but this is not what it was before. So some of it I think is the gold in this one is a little bit of a richer gold versus kind of a frostier gold. Like part of me wants to scrape this and just go again, but then part of me is like, I mean, part of it is really pretty. It just, I don't know about the middle. You know, if you don't know what I was going for, then you see it and you're like, oh, it's soft, it's kind of bright around the edges, but the absence of color in the middle, it bugs me. So I think for now, I'm going to take it off the turner and we'll do maybe a 10-incher and see if we have good results. If I don't get what I want and I still have color left, then, you know, maybe we'll just pour over it. I don't know. But let me show it to you. And Not gonna bring you down or anything. Man, the stuff on the spinner is the best part. So note to self, I need to use a little less paint. And it kind of looks like I was going for pearls or something. But you can see like really pretty colors. But what's on the spinner is what I was going for. So I might have pushed my color too much. I'm a little rusty with this hair dryer. So again, we're kind of just playing around. It's prettier than it was. So let me sand the edges of this 10-inch and I'll be back. Okay, so we have a 10-inch MDF. I did try to save some of my paint for a future pillow or whatever. That may be a futile attempt. And I was looking at the video where I did this originally, and I did not use a regular hair dryer. I used the world's smallest blower. So that could explain why I'm having a different result, because the world's smallest blower is great for small surfaces. It's not great for anything larger than like a 6 or 8 inch, but it gives you kind of like that perfect amount of pressure. And so it's a little bit easier to control. This is nice, but it gives, you have to hit the middle the right way for it not to be too much and to go down into your pillow. And I don't know that we went down into the pillow on that one, or if we just had too much white Cell Activator. It's hard to tell. I almost changed my mind and poured over the hexagon instead. But I was like, well, I said I was going to do a 10-inch. Let's just do a 10-inch. And then if I'm still annoyed with the results, I can go back and pour over it. So anyway, I'm going to try to not use too much pillow paint. As you see here, I tried to tilt a little bit so we still have a decent amount in the middle, but it's not just everywhere. So hopefully that's just enough. And let's try again, shall we? I think, and I'm just sharing this with you guys because for my own benefit and for those who are still trying to learn how to use, you know, tools to blow out your blooms. So if you saw me, I tried to enlarge the middle to just basically make the target bigger. And then I tried to come up kind of at an angle until I catch it, and then kind of cause, you don't want to do this necessarily, not with this anyway, but you kind of want to catch it and then you don't ever just want to keep it straight down. Based on the result that we got, it seems like I didn't do that very well. So I'm telling you what you should do, not necessarily what I did do. But like I said, it's easy to know what to do, and getting it done is often quite different. So, but that's why I share. I know sometimes you guys think I'm being super critical of myself. That's not my goal. My goal is to kind of share with you what I might be learning, because it might save you from like banging your head against the wall going, oh my gosh, why is this happening? You know what I mean? So that's kind of the goal. All right, so we have the Indian spice, pineapple crush, and I think I have too much to use this up, but we're gonna have a good significant puddle of it. I'm hoping we get a great result. I'm kind of nervous because this is a larger surface and I haven't used my hairdryer on a bloom in a minute. So whatever, we're practicing together. Red violet. I find that using a hairdryer on blooms is much more forgiving on a black pillow, because if you don't blow out everything quite as well, it's not quite as noticeable, because color shimmers over black in an extra special way. It's also a little bit easier with a black Cell Activator. So, you know, that may just be my own theory, but pretty sure I'm right about that. Okay. And I think I used too much Cell Activator the last time, too much white for sure. So I'm going to try to use like a generous amount, but of course our surface is bigger this time, so I might be a little overly cautious. But I think I'm going to be a little more heavy-handed with the copper than I am the white. Okay. The cool thing about an Atelier metallic Cell Activator, well, even the blue-black, like, it's very stretchy. And I don't know if that's the right way to describe it, but it seems to have like a lot of elasticity. I don't know if you can see this, but I don't think you can, but it takes a while before it breaks. So you can't necessarily trust that if you're used to going by the stream. You can't always trust that because it's going to take a while before it breaks. Okay. I'm kind of tempted to try to blow it out myself. Can't keep up. I still went a little bit too straight down, and I think we caught the pillow as a result, but it wasn't really moving without doing that. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure how this is going to go. The outside petals are really pretty, but we're seeing a lot more of the problematic middle that we had with the other one. Which, as long as we don't have a complete absence of color here, I can dig that. And this is a little wispy for me, but I might need to let it develop a little bit. So last time I blew in the middle, it was, the cells formed a little bit too rounded. So I'm trying to decide if I should just let it do its thing and leave it alone, or help it a little bit. It still seems pretty thick in the middle. So here, let me zoom you in. That might be a little too much, but whoa. Oh. So here we have beautiful, almost like butterfly wing cells and lacing. Here in the middle, we still have kind of the problematic white cells. It's like, I wish I could like just watch it and see if it develops, but I don't, that's boring. I have to do some other things while we're talking here. But as much as I want to practice blowing blooms out myself, I also don't want to like lose the practice of using a hairdryer, because you get these cute little bubble cells and sometimes you get some definition that you may not get with your own blowing. It seems like it's going like this and forming and growing like almost like a pearl cell. So let's spin it and see what happens. I think my skewer, I think I threw away my only skewer over here. So I'm going to use this weird thing here. I'm afraid that this is going to get to the edge and be weird, is why I'm messing with this. But this doesn't skewer like my actual skewer. I don't know, you guys, I'm really torn. And I don't know that I want to keep messing with the edges. So let's just go see what happens as we spin. It could be that it develops as it stretches out. So I think what I'm going to do, so that I can practice blowing blooms myself and also using the hairdryer, it kind of looks like a flower. I mean, I know blooms, duh, but I think I'm going to, the Cell Activator that I find difficult to blow out myself, like Atelier, I think I'm going to try to use the hairdryer on it more, so that I don't like lose the practice, because it's still fun to try it, you know. It's beautiful. This is beautiful. This is not, I wanted more color in the middle, but like I said, realizing that I blew it out with a completely different blower, I don't know that I could expect the same result, because it's just not going to push the paint around the same way. So some stuff is developing in the middle. I'm a little concerned about the cells that are growing, because I don't know. There's still quite a bit of Cell Activator in the middle. So let me give it another good spin. I want to try to get, oh my gosh, you guys are way too zoomed in for this, sorry. I have paint on me. I didn't realize that you couldn't see hardly anything. My bad. I want to get this to the edge. That may be asking a lot. You can see that stuff's developing in the middle as we stretch this out. So that may be the key, is you may just have to be patient with the middle and let it do its thing instead of trying to help it so much. I got the icky part to the edge. So this is different than what I was going for, but it's very soft and very summery and colorful. So I'm gonna pause you guys for a little bit, and I'm gonna do my very best to not mess with this. I don't know how well you can see those specks, but there's a little cell developing here, and that's probably from me blowing into it. So I'm tempted to like let it do its thing and see if it does it on its own, and if not, get my turkey baster and help it along a little bit. I just can't wait too long. So I'm just gonna pause you for a little bit. I'm gonna like clean up a little and see what happens, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm too impatient, so let's see if anything develops there. It may just be a little copper river, but we'll see if anything develops. I'll be back. Okay, so the center really never did anything. So I dabbed it with my finger to get rid of that one weird cell. I even tried to take a little thingy and pull some paint out. It didn't really do much. So I'm gonna let it live for now. You guys let me know what you think. I think it'll be beautiful under resin. It's a little softer than I normally would prefer. This part is really pretty. Definitely didn't get the color saturation I got on a smaller surface. So I may actually go grab that tile and go again and try to blow it out myself, or blow it out with the world's smallest blower so you can see what I'm going for, but we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think, and don't be surprised if you see it in a future video.